Hi, Priyanka.
Yes, sir.
Can I start the session?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, good morning, all of you. All of you, my voice is audible. Is my voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Thank you. And see, I'm sharing my screen. Please see first of all. Is my screen is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right.
Sir.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. See, first of all, very quick and very brief introduction about me. And I am Mallikarjun, and with 20 years of experience, 20 plus years of experience in the IT industry as a corporate trainer and as an analyst, database designer, and from basic junior developer to team lead, and around 7 years of experience in the complete development with uh, the different roles in the streaming application development, video streaming, and e-commerce, and so many web applications. Right, that is about a simple, very quick brief introduction about me. First of all, coming to our today's workshop. See, all of you, the today's agenda of this workshop is database operations application development using MERN. And who can attend this and who can learn this, or whom this is useful? Any graduate, from any graduate fresher, okay, to anyone. Anyone means a beginner or a professional who is already working in the web application development can use this. And the duration is simply 3 days and daily 2 hours from morning 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah. Now, the topics simply we divided into 3 parts. Please, everyone, please observe this. The first one is web application basics. Second one is, as we said earlier, the full stack web application development. In that, by using MERN, the NodeJS application development, and third day we will develop a client application by using React. Okay, this is purely abstract, but so many internal things are there. I will explain about that things step by step while we are going through the steps. And some people may get surprised, okay, by the inclusion of the web application development basics or the web application basics. Why we included that web application basics? Here, if any fresher comes into the picture, attends this workshop, okay, for them the web application basics are very important. That is one aspect. The second aspect is, even though you are a professional in any web application development technology, or to build a web application development, to build a perfect web application or a best web application, basics are very important. Without knowing the basics, it is not possible, even though you are a professional in the advanced technologies, but without knowing the basics, it is not possible to give a best web application. It is not possible to design the web application in a perfect way. Basics are very important. Don't think that, see, generally everyone feels that the advanced topics are highly complex. No, advanced topics are very easy. Very easy. It's literally true. Whether they are web API, or whether it is testing, or whether it is security related things, or whether it is related to routing, or any aspect, it is simply easy. No doubt at all. The web application basics is very important. But what type of basics? The basics means the behavior of web application. Not the basics means HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It's not like that. That is not the basics. The behavior. What exactly the web application? What is the behavior of web application? if you want to build an application, first of all, you should know what is the behavior of it. So the insights of web application, we concentrated in the first 1 hour. So let us see. The first 1 hour, the web application insights for the beginners or the freshers. And even sometimes they are useful for professionals also. Now, to explore the internal things of web application in development point of view, I selected few words here. What is web? And what is web client? And client-side technologies and server-side technology. We'll see about this client-side technologies and server-side technologies later. Web client and web server. What is HTTP? Request, response. What is meant by endpoint? And what is meant by root? See, irrespective of technology, whether you are a full-stack developer related to the Python or related to Java or related to .NET or by using Angular or React, these things are common. Remember that. These things are common. So now, first of all, anyone tell me what is meant by web? See, we have only 1 hour. Okay, so that's why, because the web development means it is a ocean, remember that. But developers' point of view, few things are very, very important. So in the first 1 hour, we are concentrating on this because these points are very much useful in the next coming application development. Okay, that's why these topics I selected. Okay, don't think that these are all normal basics. These are very important development basics. Right. So now, anyone tell me what is meant by web?
Internet.
Internet. Okay, fine. Next. Anyone? See, it is not an interview. It is not an exam. Okay, I am not available. Yeah.
Collection of web pages.
Collection of web pages. Okay, right. Right. Good. Next. Okay. Now I will tell you. Those who answered, okay, they are up to some extent they are correct. They are valid, no doubt. But web means
it is a server.
Yeah, it is okay. See, someone's voice is interrupting the others, so please. Right. Now, web means what exactly the web? See, whatever the answers given by the team members, they are good. Okay, they are up to some extent they are valid. Okay, they are correct. But web means generally web application development is purely based on internet. Without internet, the web application development is not possible. That is true. Fine. But the web means it is a space which is under the control of web server. Remember that. Web means it is not website. Web means it is not server. Web means it is not web client. Web means a space which is under the control of web server. That is a very important point. Okay. So, what type of space it is? It is a public space. It is a public space. Now, what is meant by space? Simply say space means memory. Space means memory. Remember that. A memory which is under the control of web server. See, for better understanding, I am explaining in simple words without deviating from the exact meaning. Okay. In the high end, the same concept can be explained with a different vocabulary, with different technical words. But that is not important for us. Even, see, in the interview also, they expect the practical exact answers. Okay, they don't need too much high-end technical words. Okay, so web means a space which is under the control of web server. So where is this web server? This is the important point. Where is this web server? Web server is as a part of internet. In the real world, the web servers are they are in the part of web in the internet. That is the important point. Now, what this space contains? Okay, the space is under the control of web server. That space we are calling it as web. Okay, fine, good. Now, what that space contains? Anyone tell me? What that space contains? What that space holds?
Memory.
Yeah. That space holds web applications. In that memory or in that space, okay, web applications, one or more web applications are deployed or placed. Whatever the web applications developed by us, they are placed in the space of web server. That space is nothing but web. It is a public place. It is a public space. What does it mean, public space? See, suppose in the real world, okay, public space, public road. What does it mean? Anyone can access it. Anyone can use it. That is called public place, right or wrong? Public telephone booth. What does it mean? That is the main important point here also. The space which is under the control of web server is accessed by anyone by using internet. By using internet. That is the main important point here. So that space which is under the control of web server is allowed to access by or through or by using internet. That is the important point. So in that space, if a web application is placed, then what happens? That web application is allowed to access by anyone using internet. That's all. Simple. That is the basic important point. Okay, fine, good. Now, see, is it possible to see that space? Yes, I will show you. Don't worry about it. Okay, it is related to the web server administrator, but I will show you. Today I will show you everything. Okay, up to some extent, because nowadays, as a full stack developer, you should know not only the development knowledge, you should know the server side knowledge, testing knowledge, and database knowledge, and the performance related issues, database related, and server configuration issues. All these things you should know as a full stack developer. It is very important. Then only you get the highest priority in the team. Now, okay, fine. Now, let us see. So the first part in the web application development basics is internet. In simple words, internet is nothing but simply say either physically or logically. Internet is an indefinite network. We cannot fix the size of internet, right? So see, it expanded the entire world, right? So that's why, in simple words, it is a network of networks or a network with indefinite size. Okay, but how it is useful to a web developer? How to see in which aspects? What are the different aspects? Okay, need to learn by a web developer. Which aspects of internet every developer should learn, because you are developing the web application that is going to be deployed on the web server, which is on the internet. So internet acting as a base. Without knowing understanding the behavior of internet, it is not possible to develop a good web application. So in terms of software, you are not a hardware professional, you are a software professional. That too web developer. So in terms of web development, if you see the internet is composed with of two types of components, which are related or which are useful to web development. They are, simply say, the internet composed with of web clients and web servers, email clients and email servers, FTP clients and FTP servers, database client and database servers, API client and API servers, and chart client and chart servers. Even though these words are not unable to understand by you, okay, don't worry about that. Okay, in the first step, it is not possible to understand all these things. Okay, just listen and just try to understand. That's all. Okay, suppose if you are unable to understand these things, just leave it. Don't worry about it. But finally, two things are there in the internet: servers and clients. Simple. Broadly, only two words. The entire internet software is divided into two parts: clients and servers. That's all. Whatever may be the clients and whatever may be the servers. Leave it. Now, the first two are very important: web client and web server. Right. Now, see this. The first word, web. So here, I texted. See this. What is meant by web? Web is not a web is it is not it represents a space. Remember, okay, it is nothing but a space which is under the control of web server, which is accessible to everyone via internet. This is very important. And for better understanding, okay, we can say we can treat like see, for better understanding, we can say that space as a folder. See, you create a directory, you create a folder, right? That is. So nothing but simply say a folder. See why that I used that word called folder. Just to wait 2 minutes, you are able to understand. The web contains one or more web applications. One or more. Now coming to the picture. A website is an example of web application. Very important word. A website is an example of web application, but all the web applications are not websites. Please try to understand this word. Okay. See, there are so many other things are there, especially web API. Web API developer. Web API is also a web application, but it's not website. Web API is also a web application, but it's not website. Remember that. Website and web API, these are the two best examples for web applications. So now as a full stack web developer, you are dealing with both. You are developing websites and you are developing web APIs. Both two jobs, two major jobs by you. That is a very important point. Now, see, all the web applications are not websites, but all the websites are web applications. Okay, fine. Now, in brief, what is the purpose of web? What is the purpose of web? See, yeah. See, as the web is nothing but a public space which is under the control of a web server, and it is allowed to access by anyone through the internet. You want to see if anything is placed in that public space, what happens? It is made available to the entire public. Now, we are using that scenario. See this. As web is accessible to everyone using internet, as web means the space. If any information placed in the web, that information was made available to everyone through the internet. This is the basic principle behind the web application or website development. Sharing of information to all, that is. So the primary aim of web is information sharing easily without any delay. This is the fundamental basic point. Okay. Next, coming to the next basic web server. What is this web server? Okay, as a full stack developer and as a MERN or as a lead developer. Okay, this web server is very, very important, especially for these two people. I mean that those who are interested about this MERN and MERN, especially. For Python and Java or .NET full stack developers, the server is different. Okay. Here, what is meant by web server? Again, it is nothing but a software. but its behavior is little bit different. That is very important point. The server behavior you need to understand. See this. Web server is a program which holds web applications in its space. Web server is a program which contains web applications. Web applications means websites and web APIs also. Okay, but initially just think about the websites only. Don't think about the web APIs. So web server is a program which holds one or more web applications or websites in its space. That is the first point. Okay. Then what is its behavior? That is very important. Now please see this program. Please see this diagram. Allow it. See this right side one. This is a server system. A server system is with server hardware. Okay, processor, RAM, and each and everything will be there. And on that, a server operating system is deployed. Depends upon the window. If you want, you can use Windows server or you can use Linux server. Okay, any server you can use, no problem. Now on that server software, server operating system software, one web server software is installed. Web server software. Okay, there are so many web server softwares are there. Remember, so many web server softwares are there. Now this web server software contains one or more websites. Website 1, 2, 3, 4, thousands of websites. A web server may hold thousands of websites. Okay, right, fine. Now these websites are accessed by using web client. That web client is nothing but web browser. A system which contains web browser is called web client. So now this web client, I mean web browser, sends a request to the web server at which the website is running. Okay. Now this web server software sends. Hello. This web server software sends a response to the web client. And here there is a word called protocol, HTTP. This is externally seems to be okay, fine. But for developer point of view, what are the things you need to extract from this behavior? What are the things, internal things you need to observe in terms of development? In terms of development, the word is very important. In terms of development, okay. Request, response, HTTP, okay, fine. But development, okay, a developer, which points the developer should observe what is meant by request, development point of view. What is meant by response, development point of view. What is meant by HTTP protocol, development point of view. That is very important. So let us see. Okay, see, there are so many things are there behind this behavior, but I am here as the time is limited, and I am trying to explore the minimum basic points. Okay, so how to understand this web client and web server relation? How to understand this? Okay, now see. Now first of all, what is the behavior of a web server? A web server receives a request, okay, from the web client and understands it. Please remember these words. Understands it, okay, and processes it and prepares the response, and the response is sent to the web client from which the web server has received the request. So 5 steps. These 5 steps are very, very important in the development point of view, because as a full stack web developer, you deals with the client server side development also, not only the client side. Okay, you deals with the server side development also. So these are the minute internal steps. Okay, right. Okay, fine. So still some confusion is there. Just assume. Okay, still some confusion is there about these 5 steps. Can we simplify this? Yes. Right. Now, to understand this client and server behavior, okay, I have chosen one example called classroom. In the classroom, one or more students are there generally in the classroom. So it is a pool, it is a collection. Okay. Now in the real world, in the internet, how many clients will be there? So many clients. So students are nothing but clients. See, you open the Gmail, I open the Gmail, everyone opens the Gmail by using some Chrome or Firefox or whatever it is. So we are all clients to the Gmail. So we are all single or more than one? More than one. That is. Now in a classroom, multiple students are there, but only one master. Right or not? So one Gmail server. But the Gmail server services are used by multiple clients, more than one client. Right? Now let us understand this. Now in a classroom, I hope everyone, my voice is audible. Is it clear? All are comfortable?
Nagesh, can you please unmute?
Yes, your voice is audible.
Yeah, right. All are comfortable. Clear? Yeah. Right. Now, student sends a question to the master. Student generally asks a question. Okay. Right? That question is nothing but request. Try to understand. Just compare that. Okay, student is a client. Okay, and the student asks a question to the master. That question is nothing but request. Now the point is, what is meant by question? Question contains certain data, right around? Suppose you ask me, okay, what is React? It is a question, right around? That question contains certain words, certain data, right? That question should be meaningful, right around? What is React? It is a sentence constructed by using English, right around? See, if anyone get any doubts, please immediately you can ask, no problem. Okay. To form a meaningful request, the request data, the data which is inside the request should be in a proper order, right? So in our classroom example, if the student asks a question, the question should be constructed by using a particular language according to that language grammar. Suppose if the question is by English, it should be according to English grammar. If the question is by using Tamil, then it should be by Tamil grammar. If the question is by using Telugu, then it should be by Telugu grammar. Why you should follow the grammar? Please everyone, don't think that these are all normal basics. These are very, very useful in web API development also. Okay, don't think that these are normal basics. Whatever the questions I am asking right now, I am explaining, these points are very, very important in the very advanced stage of web API development. Now, what is the need of grammar? Anyone tell me? What is the need of grammar? Properly.
To pronounce without any lags or to use past tense, present tense, whatever it the situation is happened. So we want to use the grammar.
Grammar. Okay. Let us simplify this. Anyone simply in a
To
simple
find
word.
the information clearly.
Yes, clearly. Okay, up to 50, you reach up to 60-70%. I need more. The sentence should be constructed with grammar, with proper grammar, so that what happens in the entire world, that sentence possesses same meaning, right around? What is React? Either in UK, either in US, or in Australia, or in Ireland, or in India, or in any state, is the meaning of what is React changes? No. That is the beauty of grammar. When a statement is constructed by using grammar, it possesses the same meaning in the entire world, right or wrong? Yes or no, all of you? Is there any possibility? Is there any possibility to understand that statement in different ways? No. So it means its meaning is always same. Suppose if I ask you a question, react, only one word, react. What is the meaning of it? It is meaningless, right? But if I ask what is react, what is the purpose of react, what is mean? If I ask in such a way, what happens? It possesses the same meaning. Okay. So here the student is client and student asking a question to the master. The question is nothing but the request. Okay. The request is constructed by using some language, by following some grammar. Now just apply this here. The request is raised by the web browser. The web browser sends a request to the web server. This request contains so much of data that data need to be arranged by using a grammar called HTTP. HTTP is nothing but a grammar. Grammar, just like our Telugu grammar, or just like our English grammar, just like our Tamil grammar. It tells what the grammar tells: arrangement of words in the sentence. In the same way, this request contains data, that the data need to be arranged in a proper way or according to certain rules. That rules are nothing but HTTP. So what is the need of arrangement of that the data according to HTTP? For better understanding. Why you are constructing the sentences by using English grammar and Telugu grammar? To give more clarity, to give for better understanding. Okay. Right? To avoid the different meanings, to possess the exact meaning. Okay, exact meaning you are using grammar. This is very important. Okay, in the advanced stage of web API development called REST principles. Okay, even though now it is not understandable to you. Okay, those who are freshers, leave it, no problem. But please try to remember why in the first hour I concentrate on the basics. This is the main important point. Okay, fine. You constructed. See, the student raised a request, a question towards the master, and constructed that request by using a grammar. Okay, fine, good. Now, who receives that question? Master receives the question. So, who is master in our web server? That is. Now, the point is the question received by the master. Now, what is the behavior of web server? See, the web server receives the request which comes from the client. Fine. Okay. The master receives the question which comes from the client. Okay, student. What is the second point here? Understands. This is the very important. See, this second step and the arrangement of data in the request according to HTTP protocol, these two are related. When the master is able to understand the question, when the question is properly constructed by using a grammar, language grammar, then only the master is able to understand. If the question is not constructed properly by using any language grammar, is master able to understand? No. This is the requirement. Okay. So here also the client should construct the request data, the data which is inside the request object according to HTTP protocol, so that the server able to understand the data in a proper way. That is a very important point. Why the understanding of question is important by the master? To give answer to that question, right? Without understanding the question, master can give a proper answer. No. So, here is master listens that question. Listens, very important word. Listens. Okay, technically also understands it. Then prepares the answer. This is also development point of view very important. Prepares the answer. Because these are all the jobs by you. Okay, don't think that these are normal words. Lessons. That lessons is related to one technical aspect. Understands, that is related to one technical aspect. Prepares the answer, that is also related to one technical job. These are all related to the web developer. Remember that. Okay. So prepares the answer, and that prepared answer is sent to the student, right? That is called response. That is called answer. So answer is sent by master to student. Now the reverse. The answer should be, answer contains again data. Okay. React is a UI application development framework. Yes, see, it is answer. That answer contains data. Again, that data also should be arranged in the proper order according to some grammar, right? Some language grammar. Right or not? Then only the student able to understand it. Right or not? This is the very, very important point. And in this, there is one more important point. I should give answer to the student. I mean, master should give the answer to the student. See, there are so many students are there in the classroom. To which student the master should give the answer? Yeah, right. From which student the master has received the request, I mean question, only to that student the master should give. It means master should have a knowledge about the student who raises the question. Right or wrong? That is, master should be able to know. Okay, there are so many students are there. From which student which question is raised, the master should be able to remember. Which client asked which request. To that client only the server should send. So it means the server should be able to remember each client. This is called identity. Remember, this identity again a chapter in the web application development. Identity. If a master not identified the student, is it possible to communicate with the student? So the client should identify the server. Server should identify the client. This identity is again a chapter. Okay, it is related to the security. It is related to so many internal things. Identity. That is very important. Okay, very simple. How a master identifies a student? You are an authorized student to sit in this classroom. That is a simple question. But that question involves so many internal things. Okay, so many security mechanisms are there nowadays. Okay, as a developer, see, by having a fee receipt or by student ID card, something. Okay, that is okay, fine. From the so many years of and years. Okay, we are following the same. Okay, pay the receipt and get a student ID card, and so that you are an authorized student to use the services of the master. That's all okay. But that is not the thing. The security is enhanced nowadays. So many other mechanisms are entered. That is, right? So that's why, because that area again, see, this area requires a separate attention. For example, those who are working in this web development, suppose are already they are learning JWD. Okay, JSON Web Token Mechanism. There are different mechanisms are there. Okay, especially in the interviews. Okay, they are asking. Okay, are you know how to implement the JWT mechanism or not as a part of security? They are asking in such a way. Okay, not only about the user ID and password and something. Okay, that is okay. We'll see it later. So anyway, here from this example, the conclusion is students will be one or more. In this example, students will be one or more, right? But only one master. each student can ask one or more questions. All the questions are not same, right? Same question may be asked by more than one student. Okay. For all the students and their questions, only one master. This is the complex situation. In the regular classroom mechanism, is a master can handle all the questions concurrently, parallelly. Is it possible? Only one question. It is a sequence, right? A sequence mechanism. Okay, that is. But in the real world, a web server gives the response to all the clients parallelly or concurrently at a time, right or wrong? Suppose all the members, okay, right now just we open the browser and we type gmail.com. We are getting the login page or not at a time. It means the server sending the login page to all at a time. But whereas in the classroom, a master cannot able to answer all the questions at a time. Is it possible? No. That is the thing, right? So please try to understand all these things one by one. But here, for proper communication, while asking the questions and giving the answers, both student and master should follow a proper order. For proper communication, this is also one of the important chapter technically. Between the client and server, for proper communication, you need to develop some code. That is the thing. Okay. Otherwise, it may go to meaningless. Right. See, all the students asked their questions at a time. Master can understand the questions clearly. No, it becomes meaningless. Meaningless. That is a very important point. So here, master is web server, whereas student is a web client. Right. Now the conclusion is here from this scenario. See this. Request is raised by the web client. It is fixed. Request contains data. It should be arranged according to a protocol. Fine. But the main motto of request is request should be prepared, which is understandable by web server. Okay. See, the question raised by the student, but the target is master. Master should be able to understand the question. So while the student preparing a question, okay, the student should think, is this question is understandable by the master or not? So while you are preparing a request, is this request is understandable to the server or not? Okay, this is very important. Why this concept we raised here? As a web developer, when you deals with web API, you need to raise the request manually, or you need to raise the request through programmatically by using front-end client-side frameworks. Okay, that is a very important point. At that time, the request preparation is in your hands. You prepare the request as a web developer. Okay, everything you need to raise, you need to prepare the question. Okay, for better understanding, I'm using that word. So you should be able to understand how to raise a request, how to prepare a request, how to organize the data which is inside the request, everything. Okay, that is fine. Next, response. This is also very important. Server prepares the response, master prepares the answer, but master should do this by considering the student status. Okay, at which level? See, the answer should be understandable to the student. Okay, so the client understands which type of data. The server should send the data in the understandable format of client. So the master should send the answer to the student in the understandable format of student. Yeah. See, this is very important point in the web application development. Very important point. Why? All the clients are same. All the clients are same. All the students are with same knowledge. No? So then it means, yeah. Then it means master should be dynamic. Master should not be static. It means I should not give the same answer to the all. See, when I am interacting with you, I should give the answer according to your status, by considering your mindset, by considering your knowledge, and by considering your requirements. I should prepare the answer and I should do it to you. When I am interacting with this guy, okay, then I should prepare the answer, okay, according to the requirements of student. So all the student requirements are not same. Now, preparing a response according to each client requirement, is it a simple thing? No, it's a complex, right? So this is a very advanced topic in the web application development. Server should give the response, should change the response according to the client requirement. Just like how a master changes the answer according to the student status. Okay, because as a web developer, you need to deal this concept in the web API development. Right? See, some clients understands XML, some clients understands HTML, some clients understands JSON, some clients understands JavaScript. This is technical things. If you are unable to understand these things, leave it. Okay, very simple. You understand Tamil, then I should give answer in Tamil. You understand Telugu, then I should give answer in Telugu. You understand English, then I should give answer in English only, right or wrong? So it means I should know Telugu, Tamil, and English and all the languages, right or wrong? But your point of view, that is not the requirement. Okay, you sense the question, okay, whatever the language which is comfortable to you, but I should be able to understand, receive that question. Okay, first of all, listen. Okay, I should listen that question and I should be able to understand it, and I should be able to prepare the answer, and I should be able to send it to you, okay, according to your requirements. That is the important point. Technically, this job is very important in the web API development. Okay, see, all these topics somehow related to either fully or partially each chapter. Remember that in the in the course. Okay, fine. Now, see this. And one more important, why I kept the star here. This is the first meaning. Okay, this is the first thing. Because the clients are, according to the client requirements, the server should be here. Fine. How many students can handle by a master in a classroom? 10, 20, 30, 40. So a limitation is there, right or wrong? Right? Right? It's like a limitation is there. Okay. So depending upon the resources available, okay, maybe 100 or maybe 150 or 200. So it means a server in the real world, what happens? It also affects the performance of our web application development. Okay, our web application. You develop an excellent website. Okay, fine. But sometimes it is unable to provide the services. Why? Why? Because, see, for example, I'm not using any mic here. Just assume. Okay, is my voice is audible to the people who are at the far away to me, very far away to me? It means, see, they are unable to listen my voice. Okay, is it my fault? Is it my fault? See, I'm speaking very loudly. So it means your web application is working perfectly, but it is not reachable to the client. These are the things you need to consider in the time of web application development. See, some things are not under the control of web developer. Okay, so to give the best performance, to give the service to the more clients, okay, how to design a web application? See, for example, when you are trying to get the results, intermediate results or BTech results or MCA results, okay, or MTech results, in the first 1 hour, is it possible to get the results? No. So then what does it mean? See, like the server is with certain capacity, right? Whenever the requests are came more than that capacity, it is unable to answer. That is the thing. So there is no fault in the server. There is no fault in your web application. Okay. The server capacity is 1,000. Okay, 10,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000. Up to that many number of requests, it is okay. If the requests are more than that, then it is unable to answer. That's the thing. Okay. So that's why in the full stack web application development, these are the different types of scenarios you need to observe. Okay, domain point of view and security point of view, sharing point of view. So many things are there. Okay, we'll see one by one. Next, coming to website. See, the web is a space under the control of web server. And the space contains one or more web applications. Website is an example for web applications. Another example for web applications is web API. Okay, right now we are not dealing with web API. I mean that right now I am not explaining about the web API. Tomorrow I will explain about that one. So website is a collection of one or more web pages and it is under the control of web server. Right? Fine. Now what is meant by web page? Again, this is the question. Okay. So here the meaning of web page or the construction of web page is changed from olden days to okay. See, but first of all, I am concentrating purely on the traditional thing. Okay. See, what is the purpose of a web page? In simple words, a web page is nothing but a program, no doubt at all. A program. Even though you are calling it as a page, it's nothing but a program. But what is the main purpose of this one? A web page is a program using which the information is presented. Information is presented at client side inside the web client software called web browser. In addition to the above, the web page performs input and output. These are all, see, every word is related to the development. Remember, don't think that these are all basics. All these points comes in Angular and React in UI development. Okay, so you should know how to present the data. You should know how to take the data. You should know how to give the output. So whether you see which technology you are using, whether React or Angular or normal HTML or whatever it is, it's not the matter. But you should be able to handle these things at the primary level. But there are so many other things are there. Okay. So input and output. Right. And HTML is the one using which the web pages are created. Fine. Okay. Just up to that extent, we need to restrict right now. Next, what is meant by this web client? See, we saw the web server. Now coming to the web client. Client is nothing but a web browser, maybe Chrome or Firefox or Edge or whatever it is, using which the client interacts with the websites which are hosted on the web server. So there is only one software right now for the normal clients. Okay, not the developers. Developers uses different tools. Okay, may use. But in the real world, in the internet, by using these web browsers only, we are interacting with the websites. Right? Now, the web browser sends a request to the web server and the server receives the request. Once the server receives that request, along with data, it tries to process that request. After the completion of the request processing, the result will be sent to the web browser. This is called response from the server to the client. This is the total behavior behind the web application. But still, some points are hidden. Okay. See, you said the request contains data. Okay, is it visible to us? See, you type gmail.com. In a blank web browser, you type gmail.com. What does it mean? Gmail.com. In the URL bar, you type gmail.com. What does it mean? What does it mean? It is address, okay, fine. You are sending a request to server, okay. That server name is Gmail. That server name is Gmail. Is it really true? Yes, it is really true. Suppose, for better understanding, okay, now I am using today very simple words. Anyone see? Anyone house is with some name? Your house? Vishnu Nilayam, right? Fine, good. Now I want to visit you. Okay, I want to visit your home. Okay, so or I want to send a letter to your home. Okay, that is called request. Issue. Now your house address is required for me to send a letter to you, right? Right around. So here your house name is Vishnu Nilayam. It is very easy to understand, right around. What is the house number for you? What is the house number of your house? What is the house number of your house? See, you are the member of the house, but you are still unable to remember your house number. It means the house number is not that much easy to remember by everyone, right around. Hash 192 bar something. Sometimes it is too lengthy also, right around. So the gmail.com, Gmail means it is the IP address of the Gmail server. Gmail.com means, okay, you are there, you are using, okay, the IP address of the Gmail server. But if the IP address is given to the public, okay, it is not easy to remember. 192.168.178. Something. But sometimes always the IP address is not same. Suppose if I switched my web application, okay, to some other system, the IP address may change, okay, but Gmail is always fixed. My house name Vishnu Nilayam is fixed always, okay. Wherever I live, I fix or I set my house name as Vishnu Nilayam, but house number may change, okay. So to the public, okay, instead of house number, house name is easy to remember, right? See, if you know the IP address of any application, okay, you can type that IP address. You get no doubt. Instead of gmail.com, if you know the naming server IP address, okay, if you type that one, automatically you get the output, just like gmail.com. Gets the login page automatically. But the name is binded with see, as like the house name is binded with house number, right? But that binding is performed by the server administrator in the back end. Okay, that is called naming server concept. Leave it. Okay, but here, so here you are sending gmail.com. Fine, you are getting the login page. Are you sending your details to the server? Tell me. Whenever you are typing gmail.com or 123telugu.com or something, some different websites, okay, entertainment websites, or amazon.com or amazon.in, okay, are you sending your location details to the server? Then how the server able to send the login page or home page to you? Please try to understand this concept. See, you are typing some xyz.com, amazon.com. You are getting Amazon home page. How your browser getting the Amazon home page? You not send it your details. Okay, I am in quality thought. Okay, I am in the room number 308. I am using a system with IP address so and so, and I am using a Chrome. In the tab 1, I typed amazon.in, so that please send the Amazon home page to tab 1 of the Chrome, which is inside the system, which is located in the classroom 308 of quality thought Amirpet. Have you sent it all these details? No. Then how the server able to know about your location. It means when you type gmail.com, it means implicitly it is sending all your details to the server. Your IP address, your browser details, its version, your language settings, in which time zone you are, to which country you belong. Everything is sent automatically. That is called implicit data. It is not visible to you. It's not visible to you. That is the thing. Okay. So it means it is sending all the data so that only the server able to send the relevant page to you. That is the thing. Okay. Right. So now, next, this protocol between the client and server, as I explained to you, the request and response data need to be arranged according to HTTP protocol. Just like I explained about the question and answer between the student and master should be according to the language grammar, using which the question and answers are constructed. Here also. See, if you want to know about the HTTP documentation, it is available in the W3C sites. Okay, around 60-70 pages are there, but that is not required for you. It is highly complex sometimes. Okay, so at the developer level, the extreme level only, the documentation is required, but you need to study that, but not right now. When you are dealing with web APIs and when you are dealing with exclusively with the request and responses, study about the HTTP protocol is required. I will tell you. Okay, but abstractive study is important. Okay, detailed study is not required. Abstract study is important. Now there are two protocols here, HTTP and HTTPS. What is this? For better communication between the web browser and the web server, request and response data means message structure should be according to hypertext transmission protocol. Okay, simply say hypertext transmission means grammar. That's all. It tells about the arrangement of data inside the request and response. That's all. Okay, we'll see about that. Don't worry. Okay, right. But what is this S? Secure. Okay. See, when we are transmitting the data over the internet, that our request passes through so many things. Okay, I mean that. See, our server. See, now we are in one location, but our server may be in far away. Okay, it may be in some other continent also. Maybe we don't know. So it means our request data passes through all this, all the in betweens in between you and the server. So in between, anyone can hack your data. Anyone can hack your request. That is a simple thing. So it means it is not secure, right? So if anything is unsecured, okay, are you ready to use it? Tell me. See, a very good application is given. See, you are a developer. You develop an excellent application which works very, very fast. Okay, very good look, rich look, and all. Suppose if it is if it is unsecured, okay, are you ready to use? So handling as a web developer, as a full stack developer, you should be able to handle these security things also. Okay, this is also one of the chapters. Okay, right. So now, see this. The request sent by the web client must be understandable to the web server, and the response sent by the web server must be in the understandable format of web client. This entire summary is related to the development. Remember that each point is one chapter. Okay, that is. So now the web server holds website, and website contains collection of web pages. Okay, right. Now I will show you some demonstration about this server space and all. Now first, server. Okay. Any system, even you can make your laptop also a web server. A normal system also you can make it. But what is the difference between the real web server and your? See, the real web servers which are in the internet are with high configuration, security, firewalls, okay, and their hard disks and their processors and all are different. Okay, they are with their internet connections. Okay, their backup procedures and their power backups and everything are different. Okay, they are with routers and hubs. They are connected with so many things. Okay, their IP addresses are also different. Okay, that is so many things are there. If time permits, I will explain about that one because I have that knowledge also. Right now, but can I make my laptop as a web server? Depending upon the technology. Okay, you choose web development. You can install any web server software. Right now, for example, now I want to show the behavior of request and response, the data and all. Okay. See, this is the C drive. I hope this is visible to all of you. In this, there is one folder called inetpub. Inetpub. Inet means internet. Pub means publications. Okay. Generally, when you develop a web application, at the end, okay, the client will ask, or your team lead will ask, okay, whatever you developed is published on the internet or not. Publish. Publish means deploying. That is okay. So here there is a folder called inetpub. Just open this, and here there is a folder again, www root. www means World Wide Web. Root means there is a parent directory. So this is the see. The first part, web, is nothing but a space which is under the control of web server. This is www root is the folder, okay, or is the space which is under the control of a web server. Now, whatever the web applications you develop, you need to place inside this www root. Okay. For every web server, the names are different, but the same procedure for every web server. Okay, whether it may be Tomcat, whether it may be WebLogic, or it may be WebSphere, or whether it may be IIS, Internet Information Services. Every server contains one important folder. Okay, you need to get that information from your server administrator, right? So this is the www. This is the folder. All of you, my voice is audible? Hello? Right. So this is a www root. Okay. Fine. Now I will show you a few things about the request and response. First, we'll see about see, I created one folder with the name, some name, okay, any name, your client name, okay. Suppose you are developing a web application for a restaurant. Create a folder with the name restaurant. Developing a web application for a college. Create a folder with the name college or school. Okay, you are developing an application. Okay, for a tourist place. Okay, use a folder. Fine. Now in that folder is nothing but website. Just assume. Website is a collection of one or more web pages. Now, is there any web pages in this? Now let us create. See, I am not using any tools. Okay. You can use Visual Studio Code or Eclipse or IntelliJ or so many, depending upon the technology. Okay. Visual Studio or anything. But right now I am not using any tools. In this folder, I'm creating a basic website, basic web page. See, no doubt this is also a website. No doubt. Okay. There's no rights. Okay. To say that this is not a website. This is a website. A folder with a one web page. Maybe it is not with rich look, but no doubt it is. See, the behavior is important. So now,
Sir, can you share the screen?
it is not visible. Is my screen is visible right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Here I am totally concentrating on the development aspects only. Okay, I'm not concentrating on any rich look or any designing aspects. Okay. So now just save this. Now inside this folder, there is one HTML page. Okay, just click on this. Please see this all of you. It is showing the path of the folder, right? Path of the file, right? In the C drive, in the users HP desktop, the folder name. When you are getting a login page from the Gmail, in such a way, are you getting in this way? Are you getting any path? Are you getting any path? When you are getting the Gmail login page, are you getting any path of that page from the server? No, right? See, it is a local file, right? You need to get this file from the server. Now, see this. See, this is the folder, right? Copy this. We need to move this folder to web space. Okay. For my server, what is the web space? www root. Now paste it. Okay. How to know my server is running? So depending upon your type of software you selected. See, for me, Internet Information Service. See, why I am exclusively dealing with this point means this server behavior is now by IIS server, but in the full stack development and in the depending upon the framework you selected, this server behavior is handled separately by using script. Now who is handling the server behavior? The software, Internet Information Services. This software taking the responsibility of web server behavior. Okay. To create a web server, you never written any program. Okay. I developed only HTML page. HTML page is related to my client. That's all. Okay. So it means I never concentrated on the development of web server software. Web server software, I installed it. Right. That's all. Now, see, this is my server software, and these are all the different options which are available related to the settings, configuration, server configuration. As a full stack developer, you need to concentrate on server configurations also up to some extent. Okay. Now here, see, restart and stop options are there. It means my server is running, so that I am able to restart it, I am able to stop it. Fine. Just minimize this. Now open the browser. Where my server is running? In the system. Where my browser is also there. It means my Chrome browser and my web server both are on the same system, right? So here to refer a server which is running locally, okay, you need to use a keyword called localhost. Okay, right. Now here your home.html, the home.html is available in which folder? Quality card, right? From the web server, okay, which is running in my local system. From the quality thought folder, I want which page? Home.html. Now, are you getting any path here? No. No doubt it is a web application. No doubt at all. Okay. So here your system acting as a web client and your system acting as a web server. Both the behaviors are on same system. But in the real world, what happens? The server is by some other system, client is by some other system. Okay, that is. But here, right? Okay, fine. Now let us see. Whenever you type gmail.com, are you specifying which page you want? No. But here in this request, I specified I want home.html. Okay. So can I make this one more close to the real world? Let us see. Now open your local folder and here change this home.html into index. I changed my HTML page name as index. Okay. See, there are so many alternatives are there. I'm talking about only one way. Okay. When it comes to real-time professional development, there are so many different options are there, so many settings are there. I'm not dealing with all the things. Please remember. Okay. Now, so you made a modification in the local system, local folder, right? So you need to update it in the server. So either you can make it directly. So copy this. There are so many other tools will be there. In real time, generally, we never do like this. It is partial. For some applications, it performs in this way. For some web applications, we need to use FTP clients. FTP client. Okay. Now my HTML page name is index. Okay. Now open the browser. Where the server is running? In my system, right? Slash. Which web application you want? Are you specified which web page you want right now? Please observe the URL. Then how the server picked the index.html as the home page? That is a default behavior of any web server. Remember, especially. Okay, when no page is specified by the client, then from the available web pages, first it checks any web page is there with the name index. Immediately it picks it and sends. That's all. Okay, suppose if I specified, if I asked home.html, then it is showing HTTP error 4040 not found. In this case also you are getting a message from the server. server giving response. But this response is not your expected response. Okay, you are expecting home.html, but home.html is not available. This is also very important for a web developer. You need to handle everything. Okay, this is this message is understandable by a end user? Tell me. HTTP 4040 not found. Is it understandable by a normal user? No. So whenever whenever you get an error message, instead of this error message, you should give a easily understandable error message instead of this original error message. Right around. So that is your job. You got the point? Here, this is very important for a web developer. So this case is came the basic level, right around. But this concept related to the advanced stage, handling of response codes. That's why I told you basics are very important. Handling of response codes, status codes. What is the status code here? 404. 404. So whenever 404 error messages came from the server, then you need to display your own error message here. Okay, the requested page is not available, or some unexpected thing is happened at server. Please try after some time. In such a way, you need to give. But for that one, you need to write the code. You need to write your own code. That is the job of developer. So it means whatever the topics you are handling at the advanced level, all are came from basics only. Okay, this is the architecture. This is called REST. Handling the status codes is a concept of REST principles. Okay, that is okay. So anyway, okay, fine. Now my point is, you raise a request. How to know? You sended the request to which one? To which website? In the server, in my local server, to which website you raised the request? Quality that. See this one? Okay. This is the response. Please see the tab. For your request, what is the response? You got the HTML page, right? See this here in the developer tools. Under the response tab, what is the code you received from the server? This is right around. Right? And see the header. See, this is the URL. And this is the request method. Get request it is. Get request. Your request type is get. Okay. Right. And this is the total data. These are the settings. See this request header. Okay. Your request contains request header, request body. In that request header, what is the data? This is the data. Are you prepared all this data? Tell me. Just you typed localhost quality third. That's all. But for your request, this request header is prepared with accept property and these values. Accept encoding, these are the properties. Accept language and all. See who prepared, who did all these things? Who added all these data in your request header? That is the thing. Okay. Right. So, and this is the response for your request. So you are able to see the request data and the response data, right now? See, this is the response output. This is not response. This is the response output. What actually you received from the server? This one, right? As a full stack developer, whether you are learning Angular or React, you should be able to handle these two. Okay, you should be able to raise this request by using Angular or React, and you should be able to receive the response from the server by using Angular or React. So this is one of the important chapters. Sending a request and receiving a response. Okay. Here, who is sending the request? Browser. Who is receiving the response? Browser. Okay. But as a web developer, you should deal with these two things manually by using programming. Through programming, you need to do these two things. Okay. Right. Fine. This is okay. Now, I want to know how the data is sent to the server. Okay, because request contains our explicit data also. Okay, for that purpose, just see in the quality thought. Here I am creating. See, this is the last topic in the basics. After that, we enter into this NodeJS. Okay, JavaScript and NodeJS. Now, just create one more HTML base here. See, even though you don't know the basics of HTML, don't worry about this. Here I am talking about only the request and response and its insights of that request and response. Okay. Once you enter into the course, okay, we'll deal with everything at the minute level from the scratch. Okay. Here, just I am trying to give you the explanation and I want to explore about the request, response, and all. That behavior I want to explain. Okay, not the all the technical things. Okay. Now here. You can use different other controls also, but I am not concentrating on that. Fine. So here I prepared one HTML base. Okay. Just one form tag is there here and method equal to get and enter username, input type equal to text and name equal to username. I will explain about all these structures. Then when we enter into the JavaScript, okay, and DOM structure and all these things are there. So when we are developing the client-side application, okay, the third day we deals with the React application and the client-side application development. Okay, don't worry. Now, what is the purpose of all these things? So I will explain. Now, save this. Now move this. Now open the browser. Yes. See, the output, don't think about this output, don't consider this output because we develop only client-side program. Okay. Please observe this request. Registration.html. Is the username and password are visible in the URL? No. So where are they? Let us check this. See this. Username, QT, and password. Here, whenever the method to post, I enter username or post. See, no doubt in the payload, see the username QT is there, password 1 2 3 4 5 is there, but they are not visible. They should not be visible because showing the data in the URL is unsecured, right? The data which you are transmitting from client to server should be sent in a hidden mode. So where these are embedded? Where these are embedded? They are embedded in the request body. They are the request body. Okay, that's why to send the data from client to server, always we uses method equal to post, not method equal to get. So when to use post or when to use get, depending upon the REST principles, they vary. Okay. See, some people may ask you, okay, is it possible to send the data along with the get? Yes, you can send. But when to use get and when to use post, that is different according to REST principles. When you want to get the data from the server, you need to use get. When you want to save the data, then you need to use post. When you want to update the data, then you need to use put. When you want to delete the data, then you need to use delete. That is the thing. Okay. Anyway, so here this is the proof. Our request contains data, but which is not visible to the outside world. It means the data which you entered is embedded inside the request body. Okay. But here we are not dealing with the server-side program. That's why you got the error. Okay. So leave it. So these are the basic principles behind the web applications. Okay.